Good afternoon guys, I'm Gareth from Fueled by Success, and in today's video we're going to talk about Amazon lending, and how it can affect your business in good ways, and also some of the things you've got to watch out for, when you're taking these loans. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so let's start with what is Amazon lending? Well, what it is basically Amazon offering you a lending option through Seller Central. Now, it's an invitation-only basis, okay? So you can't apply to have Amazon lending or anything like that. Amazon will notify you when they believe that your account is, in good health, and you're looking after things, and they believe that they will be able to help you grow, okay? So usually what will happen is a little notification will pop up in your Seller Central dashboard, and you'll usually get an email following it up to make you aware that you've been offered an Amazon lending option. Now, there may be multiple options, or there may be just only the one option. So usually sometimes they'll offer, on the first one, it might just be one option. So a certain amount over a certain amount of months, as an example, okay? Now, these Amazon lending loans are usually very short and sweet, okay? You don't usually get them going past over 12 months on average. Sometimes they will, of course, when it's larger amounts and things like that, but, on average, they tend to keep them below 12 months. Popular months is 3 months or 6 months as an alternative, 9 and 12 obviously being on average, okay? So, like I said, you can't apply for these loans. Amazon will only give you an invitation, usually after a year of you selling on Amazon, as well as a professional seller. Okay, so basically that's what Amazon lending is in a nutshell. Okay, so let's talk about some of the benefits of an Amazon lending option. So we'll start with the easy application, So if you get the option of an Amazon lending option, you'll have a little notification pop up like we've mentioned previously in the video. It's as simple as clicking on the Amazon lending button. Click through, it'll take you through, it'll tell you a little bit more about the Amazon lending option that's been offered to you and how you use that Amazon lending. So one of the things it'll say is you can't use this funding on anything else other than stock. The lending option is there to grow your business on Amazon. So they want you to reinvest that funding into stock, which will then sell through your Amazon seller account, okay? Now, that's a benefit, it's quick, simple, easy. For small businesses, it's a great funding little option that becomes available for you. Also, the quick application. It's a case of just clicking that button, you select the amount and the term that they're offering you. Sometimes there's multiple options there. Sometimes there's only the one option, might be your first one as an example. But if you decide it's of value to you, you just click the button to say that you'd wish to proceed with the Amazon lending offer that's been offered to you. It'll then take you through to state that you need to tick to sign electronically, that you agree to the terms and conditions outlined with Amazon. And, another benefit is it's a very fast turnaround. They've usually done a lot of the, behind the scenes work before they offer you that invitation. However, a word of warning is that not everybody is always accepted. They may offer this lending option, but there has been a few instances where, you don't always get the offer that they're offering. Sometimes they might reduce it and so on and so forth, but generally, if they're putting the invitation out there, it's usually done off your seller matrix within your account. So things such as like your account health, how fast you reply to customers. It's very vague on what they actually, what the actual criteria is for an Amazon lending option. But these are things that we've heard through the lines that, it's things like keeping your account in good health and growing your business, seeing growth basically within your Amazon seller account. So, these are all great benefits for, what Amazon can give you on there. The other benefit is it's an invitation only, okay? So because they're only giving this to people that they feel are in a position where it's going to help their, account grow on Amazon and their business, of course, And like I've mentioned, they have also done a little bit of groundwork behind there to make sure that you fit the bill. Now, I don't know how much also your credit rating comes into this as much, because I think they do look at your turnover on Amazon to look to see if you could afford to make these repayments. And also, like we've mentioned previously, the account health is definitely taken into consideration as well. But, you know, so I don't know how much they take the credit sort of reference into play with that, but I'd imagine it's still there. So, you know, keep your accounts in good health, guys, and you should all be good for that as well. Other things is such as like the wide range of options that they give you. So it can be anything from sort of like, you know, £1,000 up to, like, for instance, £750,000. Obviously dependent on the size of your business and so on and so forth, to what they'll offer you based on, you know, what your turnover is and so on. Okay, so another benefit is quick access. The turnaround on these Amazon lending options is usually very quick, you know, as little as an hour. On my personal instances, it's been usually about 5 minutes, 10 minutes tops, and you've usually had, you know, a decision made to give you that funding. Which is fantastic, you know, that, and then it'll be dispersed in, you know, pretty much the next day then as well. So if you have decided, let's say it's £1,000, £2,000, something like that on your first one maybe, you click that button to say it's been accepted, you fill in the paperwork, etc., and then that funding will be dropped into your account. They'll just make a disbursement straight away for you. So they'll disperse exactly, you know, what the amount is back into your you know, personal account via the disbursement option, and then you're able to use that as soon as it drops into your account, which is fantastic. And as a smaller business, it allows you to really grow your business, and using the Amazon lending in the right way can really help you, you know, grow and keep growing thereafter as well. Usually once you've been offered an Amazon lending option, they usually keep coming, you know, every so often, but don't take for granted how quick they will come. This is something you've really got to keep an eye on. Don't get too reliant on how fast they keep offering the options, because, you know, it's very sporadic as when they will actually offer you the next one, okay? But yeah, so Amazon lending, you know, in a nutshell, that's some of the benefits which are going to really help you to grow your business using the invitation-only option that Amazon offer. Okay, so my first Amazon lending option was around about £2,500. When I first saw that first invitation pop up, I'd heard about Amazon lending before, and I was quite excited, you know, to be given the option. I pretty much took it straight away, I'm not gonna lie. So the very first one, you know, great memories. It was a smaller amount, but £2,500 back then was quite a bit of capital to allow me to invest into the business, and it did allow me to grow. I think it was spread over 6 months, I think it was actually, which was quite a good term, to be quite honest with you, for that amount of money. It was pretty good in that respect. I then got actually offered a upgrade on my loan, or lending option, should I say, with Amazon, probably about 3 months into that one. So I paid about 3 installments back to Amazon. The amount of money comes straight out of your Amazon account. So they take that money back before it disperses back to you. So if you've got an outstanding amount payable in that month, they'll take that as soon as it becomes due. They'll take that money before you can disperse any money back into your account. So it's something to watch for, guys. But it's at the time we was doing okay. It's fantastic. And 3 months in, like I said, I made 3 payments, and then so I still have 3 to go. But they offered me an increase again. So I think with the next one we went up to about £6,000. So which paid off the remainder of what was left on the existing Amazon lending option. So they took that back out of the £6,000 that were being reoffered, And then the rest of that amount dispersed into my account allow me to rebuild again, and keep building basically. And then I think I got offered one quite frequently thereafter. We went up to sort of, I think £10,000 was the next one we then got offered. Then we went up to approximately about £15,000. Then I think it was £25,000, and then we went up to £46,000, and so on. So, they are a good option, and if they're used correctly. So make sure that when you're using an Amazon lending option, make sure you plan exactly what you're going to use it for, in those side of things as well. Because, it's all about making sure that you've got the money where you need it, when you need it, basically. And that's some of the benefits of an Amazon lending option. That keeps that money circulating within your business. Okay, so you've been accepted for Amazon lending. What happens next? Basically, the funding will drop into your bank account, allowing you to be able to, purchase those extra bits of stock and use that capital how you wish, within your business to grow it, basically. Amazon then monthly will take repayments from your Seller Central account directly back to them, basically. So, when you're selling all your stock through on Amazon, basically what will happen is once your lending option becomes due, you'll see it pop up, and then you won't be able to disperse until that money has been repaid for that month back to Amazon. And then once it's been repaid, your disbursements will be able to be retaken back from Seller Central into your own bank again until the next repayment's due. Okay? Now, keeping on top of your repayments is very important. So because Amazon takes that money automatically, it's not like they give you the money, then you have to pay back Amazon. They will hold that money back until, they've took their repayment, and then they will start giving you your money back from other sales after that. If you fail to keep up with repayments, then what will happen is Amazon may, not send you any money back, and also seize your stock on, to pay off the remainder of the loan. So keeping on top of your Amazon lending is very important for your business, obviously, and also your growth. Okay, so some sellers, because of the way in which you have to pay back to Amazon, have mentioned that they have set up bi-weekly repayments back to Amazon to spread the cost, over the month to pay back that Amazon repayment, which can make it easier to make that payment back as well. Now, there doesn't seem to be any sort of penalty for making early repayments back to Amazon either. So you can also save on interest by making your repayments back early to Amazon, which could save you, interest in the long term as well, if that's a viable option for you, within your circumstances within your business. Okay, so Amazon lending in a nutshell can be great for your business. It can really help you when money might be a little bit tighter within your business at that point in time. When small businesses are trying to grow, capital is king, basically. So, that extra bit of funding may allow you to purchase some of the stock or inventory that you require when things are a little bit tighter. But make sure you're using the Amazon funding in the correct way. And you've really got to keep an eye on this. So, make sure you plan everything out and how you're going to use that funding. Okay, so in the next part of the video, we're going to look at the other side of Amazon lending. So let's get into it. Okay, guys, so let's look at some of the negatives to an Amazon lending option. Okay, so believe it or not, there are actually some negatives. So things such as, as an example, it is a invitation-only basis. So Amazon will only offer the Amazon lending option to businesses that sell on Amazon that they believe extra stock, will increase and help their business succeed on Amazon. So, if you're not looking after your account health, not making sure that you're getting in touch with customers that reply to you, if you're not growing your sales on Amazon by yourself, then Amazon may not come in and give you that option to take an Amazon lending option with them. So make sure that you are looking after your accounts, guys. Make sure that you're getting back in touch with customers when they send through messages and things like this. So just generally look after your Amazon sales basically, and hopefully they'll give you that invitation. Like I say, it tends to be after a year, but it is a negative and it's also a positive. So we've put this particular thing in as a positive, and we've also now put it in as a negative. Okay, so the next thing basically is the length of time. So these Amazon lending options are very short lending terms. So like I said, typically the most I've ever heard of personally, if you've heard of anything additional, please comment below, let me know, because I'd be interested to hear about that as well. But 12 months is generally the longest I've heard of an Amazon lending option. So, the very short-term amounts, especially if you're, taking quite large amounts, and it's all relative to the size of your business and your turnover to what's a large amount to you. So make sure you're looking after, the incomings, the outgoings, and so on and so forth as well. Okay, another negative is restricted uses. So Amazon offer you these lending options, like we've previously mentioned. They can only be used to expand your inventory or your sales on Amazon. So the idea is that you buy inventory to restock your Amazon store with the idea that it's going to grow your Amazon business on Amazon, making them more money and also you more money. So, that is also a downside, because although technically, once you've got that money, what you do with it, if you like. But the idea of an Amazon loan, it's in strict terms and conditions that you can only use this funding to put to, building your business on Amazon in stock, basically. Okay, so another negative is automatic repayments, okay? So what this basically means is when an Amazon lending payment becomes due for that particular month, Amazon will hold back that money, in their Amazon account, so that until that payment has been made back to them, basically, which means that you will not be able to make any disbursements back into your personal, business account until Amazon have taken their chunk back to themselves, okay? Now, this can really become an issue if you've not been managing your finances for the whole duration of your Amazon lending option. This is something that I've personally also experienced, it's something that I've learned my lesson by as well. And a great book that really helped me through this time was what's called Profits First. I'd strongly recommend anybody to read it. It's an absolutely fantastic book. If you do, please comment below, let me know, because it's great to hear that side of things, see how it, what you thought about it as well. But, there's a part in the book which basically says that, when you have money in the business and you are doing, fantastic in that position. So, we can relate this to the lending option, getting into your bank account, so you're flourished with all this money, so things are great. You can spend things, you look to see what you want to be able to buy, for the business, which is fantastic. And if you're making the right investments choices, absolutely brilliant. The downside can be the tail end of a loan, okay? So this basically means that although they're short terms, like I said, typically up to 12 months, they can be quite, large amounts of money. And obviously, it's all relative to the size of your business, depending on whether that's a big amount of money to you or not, okay? So, you could be paying back, for instance, £4,000 a month, £10,000, £15,000, £20,000 a month, which is, huge amounts of money, basically. And obviously, it all depends whether that's a big amount of money based on your turnover within your business. Now, where it can really affect you, like we've just mentioned, is that tail end of the loan. So at the beginning, you've been investing, it's been fantastic. If you've not managed your money correctly, you could get towards the last 3, 4, 6 months of the loan, as an example, and it could become very tight if you've not got that available capital anymore within the business. So it's definitely something to look out for. In the book, like I mentioned, what really helped me through this particular period was that, he mentioned about saying that, when money's in the business, you tend to look at your bank account most people look at the apps now and things like that, and you see that you've got money available to you, so you might go out and spend it on different things. Now, when things are tight and you haven't got money in the business, as an example, and your back's right against the wall, what can happen then is you look at ways in which you can make money within the business that you maybe wouldn't have looked at when, you've got money in the business. And what I mean by that is, you're not always looking, or not everybody's always looking, should I say, at things that can be done to, really help your business. You really tend to look at things when your back's against the wall and you're trying to find all these different ways out. Now, the great part in this book, basically, that I took from it, which helped me when I got to this sort of situation, was that, treat every day like your back is against the wall when you're in your business. So if you're flourished with money, fantastic, but still treat it like your back's against the wall, because then, you will always be looking for the best options within your business then. You'll be making sure that, stock is moving. You'll be making sure that you're investing in the right things, at the right times as well. And if you're doing that, then your business is going to grow at the end of the day. Now, like I mentioned, it's a great book, have a read through, but the reason I've put this into the negative, not the book, the actual repayments, automatic repayment side of things is, if things get really tight towards the back end of that Amazon lending option, then, that money isn't coming to your account until you've paid back that Amazon lending loan for that month, okay? Now, if you struggle to pay back that amount, there's been tales of them, seizing your stock as an example, and future sales until that repayment has been made, as an example. So, it's very important that you plan out exactly how you're going to use your Amazon lending and make sure you're investing it into the right things, and keep an eye on that tail end, guys. Make sure that you are looking after not only the front when the loan's flush with money, but also at the back end to make sure you can cover yourself when you get to that area. Okay, so the last real negative, it's not really a negative, but I'm going to put it under this part of the video because, there's no real information about Amazon lending to the general public. You can't really search about it. Other people have talked about it, like I am doing in this video, and you'll maybe be able to Google things and have a little bit of read up from other people, but Amazon don't really disclose what the criteria is for an Amazon lending loan, okay? Like I said, the only real things they've disclosed is that, keep increasing in your sales on your Amazon account and keep looking after your account health. They're two things that they say, that'll help you to be able to get an invitation. But because it's not really disclosed about how you get one, you don't know if you'll get one, you don't know when you'll get one, and you don't know what the rates and terms are going to be when you get offered one until it's offered. So because of this, you're really in the dark. And this can be also for when you have never had an Amazon lending option, or if you have already got an Amazon lending option currently, and could really do with refinancing it again. Don't take it for granted just because you've had an Amazon lending option already available to you. It doesn't mean they're going to come back in, even if they've done it constantly. Take each one as it is, I'm doing this video basically just to make people aware. I think, the Amazon lending option as a whole is a fantastic proposition that they put out there for small businesses and, larger businesses on Amazon to be able to grow themselves. But I do believe that you need to have a proper think about, what's right for your business, because not only can Amazon build your business with the Amazon lending, but they could also destroy it if it's not used correctly. So heed the warning, guys. Just make sure that the lending option is correct for you and your business. And once you take it, just make sure that you've planned out what you're going to use it for. Inventory can be quick to get lost in stock. It can be penny battled down. It can be that Amazon could remove the listings and things like that. So just watch what you're doing with that money, because it has to be repaid at the end of the day. and that's, you know, how it goes basically. So I've put that part into the negative because of those reasons. You know, like I said, you don't know when, if, or how, or what's going to be offered at the end of the day. We're not sure about the terms. There's no real general information out there about what your specific option will be offered. But basically, that's it about the you know, the Amazon lending side of things as well. So hopefully, if any of this has helped you out, you know, please leave a comment below. I like to have a little read through. I try to get back to people if I can as well. But yeah, you know, just I'm not saying it's a bad thing, like I've mentioned. I think I've used Amazon lending and it's been absolutely fantastic. I'll still probably continue to use Amazon lending as well going forward. But just make sure that you're doing it right, okay? And you know, just make sure that the money you take is the correct amount versus your turnover, so on and so forth. And if anything, just hold a little bit back maybe for that tail end, just to make sure it doesn't swipe your legs from underneath you. But I'm Gareth from Fueled by Success. I hope the video's been great. You know, any further information, if you'd like to know a little bit more, get in touch with me. You can find me on Amazon Fueled by Success on Instagram, or you can find me by Fueled by Success on obviously YouTube and also on Facebook as well. That's it from me, guys. Have a great day, and I'll catch you later.